Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's today's Takes with Alex, and I'm your host Alex. Today we're talking about a very accessible, practical aspect of divine service. It's something that we could do multiple times a day, before, during, or after anything that we have going on in the day. And it's a way of connecting sincerely to the Creator, the Source. And by doing that, we are actually aligning our soul, our spiritual faculties, when we do it sincerely in the name of genuine divine service, because it all comes from intention, right? What are we intending to do? Are we, I think most people that choose to pray are probably praying with intention. I mean, otherwise you're probably not going to take the time to do it. But anyway, you know, our intention, like, again, we can set the intention before whatever it is. If we're going to a grocery store, if we're going on a date, if we're going to hang out with friends, if we're going to spend time with family, if we're going to work, right? We set the intention that this is part of my divine assignment for the day, and I am going to tap in and bring myself to this and engage in it in an honest, sincere, holy way to uplift what I'm doing. And the way we can set that intention is by quick prayer, connect to Source, and to draw down that energy, that blessing, that intention, and it's powerful. Seems like the waste of 2 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is, but it actually helps get us get the wheels going. Otherwise, we're not living with intention, and so we just do things, and it comes from a place of like a lower level of doing things. Right? We could choose to do things for, I guess, for the reward, or we could choose to do things because it's what it is that's on our plate. So anyway, welcome to this exploration of one of the most central and transformative practices in life and spiritual service: appreciating prayer, or in Hebrew, tefillah. The Torah calls prayer the service of the heart, an act of love, connection, and communion with God. So we have certain energy centers, right? The mind and the heart. And it turns out that the heart is the engine for everything. It empowers, right? The emotions that we ascribe to our thoughts and to, our endeavors, really have a huge impact on the energy that we use, that we have accessible during, whatever it is we are undertaking. So it's important to tap into that and to guide it. So, far more than simply asking for needs, prayer is a daily opportunity to draw close to the divine, refine our souls, and align our lives with God's will. Today, we'll look at its biblical and rabbinic foundations, the deeper meanings found in classical sources, the profound insights from Hasidic teachings, especially Chabad, and how cultivating genuine appreciation for prayer can enrich our spiritual lives and bring more holiness into every day. We'll stay grounded in traditional sources while keeping the ideas clear and accessible. Let's dive in. The root of the word tefillah comes from palal, which means to judge or to clarify. In this sense, prayer involves self-examination, clarifying our priorities, judging ourselves honestly, and aligning our desires with God's will. The sages describe prayer as avoda shebalev, service of the heart, contrasting it with the sacrificial service in the temple. Right? The sacrifices in the temple, very detailed, logical, performance. There's certainly an emotional aspect to it, right? Because sacrifices there's a giving of something, right, and a taking of a life, right? But it's a very detailed process. After the temple's destruction, the daily prayers took the place of the offerings, becoming our primary way to serve God. That's interesting, right? Because there's, like we just said, there's two energy places. There's two like sources of conduct or intention. There's the emotional, right, which has to be governed by logic. So logic is really the higher service, right? And so the logic we lost the because the emotional, right, the people at the time were leading lives that were not aligned, so their heart and their intention was misplaced, and so therefore the logical aspect of service was taken away because it wasn't doing anything. The heart part of it wasn't had been led astray. The Talmud teaches that the Anshe Knesset Hagadola, the men of the Great Assembly during the Second Temple, established the structure of our prayers, including the Shemona Esrei, to give the Jewish people a consistent framework for connecting with the Creator 3 times a day: morning, afternoon, and evening. Prayer is not optional, it's a commandment rooted in our relationship with God as a loving parent. We approach Him with both requests and praise, pouring out our hearts in honesty and reverence, right? If we're going to have intentional prayer, honest, sincere prayer, it has to be from a place of honesty, like sincerity. Like, this is where I am, right? After Adam sinned, God called out, "Where are you, Adam?" Right? Because the heart was not aligned. At its most basic level, prayer includes bakasha, requests for our needs, health, livelihood, peace, and shevach, praise of God's greatness. Yet the sages and later teachers reveal much deeper layers. Prayer is a time of self-judgment and self-evaluation. We clarify what truly matters and refine our character. Maimonides and others emphasize that sincere prayer draws divine blessing and protection. In times of distress, we turn to God. In times of joy, we thank Him. The structure of the prayer book, the Siddur, guides us through this process, from morning blessings that awaken gratitude, through the Shema that affirms God's oneness, to the Amida, where we stand in intimate conversation with the King of Kings. Spiritually, prayer rectifies both body and soul. It creates a ladder between heaven and earth, allowing our consciousness to rise while grounding divine light into our daily reality. Hasidic teachings, particularly in Chabad, bring a beautiful depth to the appreciation of prayer. The Baal Shem Tov taught that tefillah is not merely speaking to God, but a profound act of devekis, cleaving and bonding with the divine, merging, aligning. The very word tefillah is understood in Hasidus as creating union, binding our finite souls with the infinite. In the Tanya and other Hasidic works, prayer is described as the primary means of connecting our consciousness to God. It is an island in time when the soul is free to soar, leaving a refining impact on the entire day. The Lubavitcher Rebbe devoted extensive teachings to the nature and power of prayer, emphasizing contemplative davening, investing heart and mind fully, pondering God's greatness and sovereignty and providence, and our smallness before beginning, and approaching prayer with joy and love and reverence, understanding that He is the source. Chassidus teaches that through sincere prayer we elevate holy sparks trapped in the material world. Even the requests we make are not just for personal benefit, but part of drawing down divine light and contributing to the repair of creation, the Tikkun Olam. Prayer becomes avoda, true service, when performed with intention, turning routine words into a living dialogue with the Creator. So how do we cultivate appreciation for prayer in practice? It begins with preparation, taking a moment to quiet the mind. Remember, we stand before the true King. During tefillah, we strive for kavana, focused intention. rather than rushing through the words. After prayer, we carry its light into the day, letting the experience refine our speech, actions, and relationships. Many find it helpful to reflect on the meaning of specific blessings or sections of the Siddur. Hasidic masters encourage davening with joy and enthusiasm, even when the heart feels heavy, because the very effort draws divine assistance. It's pushing through that that feeling of being stretched, right? Appreciating prayer means seeing it not as a burden, but as a precious gift, a daily opportunity for closeness, healing, and transformation. In our busy lives, taking time to truly appreciate tefillah can feel challenging, yet it offers one of the sweetest paths to spiritual growth. When we approach prayer with reverence, love, and awareness of its power, it becomes a source of strength, clarity, and joy. It helps give us that blessing, that divine energy that we carry, that we draw down and ground in the world by living it with it, right? It reminds us that we are never alone, that God listens, cares, and responds to the sincere cry of the heart. Appreciating prayer deepens our emunah, our faith, strengthens our bitachon, our trust, and helps us live with greater purpose and connection. The spiritual significance of appreciating prayer lies in its power to unite us with God, refine our souls, and infuse every aspect of life with holiness. Tefillah is the heartbeat of spirituality, of spiritual practice and divine service, a daily ladder that lifts us upward while bringing divine light downward. So, if this exploration spoke to you, share in the comments. What helps you appreciate and connect more deeply during prayer? Is it praying for yourself? Is it praying for others? Is it praying for better life in the world? Is it help praying for someone to get better, feel, recover from an illness? Have you experienced moments when tefillah brought clarity, comfort, and transformation? Which aspect of prayer resonates most with you right now? There's a lot going on, and I'm sure there's a lot going on in your individual life. Are you connecting? Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more thoughtful journeys through our spiritual practice and spiritual and divine service. And thank you for watching. May our prayers rise with sincerity and joy, drawing us ever closer to God and filling our days with blessing and light. We should all be blessed. We should all have our good, good, you know, um, we should all just see good in everything that we do, in our experience, in our individual and collective lives. We should see the redemption of God's revelation in the world very soon. I thank everyone, and I'm wishing you a happy Wednesday, a successful Wednesday, and see you tomorrow. Thank you.